In Japanese culture, the koi fish is more than just a creature of the water. It's a powerful symbol of perseverance, courage, and flow. Today, we take these ancient concepts and distill them into a modern, meaningful brand mark. Let's design a logo that tells a 1,000-year-old story. In my previous vlog, I documented my process from the research, mind mapping, to sketching. If you haven't watched it, please give it a watch to give more context for this video. I'll be presenting the process of completing this for a logo design competition. I'll start with the objectives and criteria. We had to design a logo for the JL Fest 2026 event, and the logo had to use a maximum of 3 colors excluding white, and one of the selected colors must be red maroon. And the koinobori, which is a Japanese carp streamer, is the mascot of the festival. The logo should therefore reflect characteristics or elements of the koinobori. I will firstly start off by explaining the reasons behind my logo and its symbolism. I took inspiration from Japanese family crests, also known as kamon. They were historically used to identify family lineage and social status. In a corporate context, this translates to long-standing history, a sense of belonging, and an established reputation for companies. For brand identity and storytelling, the minimalist elegance and symbolic motifs of the family crest allow a complex brand story to be condensed into a single memorable mark. Kamon designs are known for their aesthetics and simplicity, with clean lines, symmetry, and simple monochrome appearance. This aesthetic appeal translates well into modern logo design, making them feel timeless and highly recognizable. With the cultural connection, incorporating kamon into branding helps companies connect with customers on a cultural and historical level, tapping into a shared sense of Japanese pride and identity. I will now explain my design process. Firstly, I placed my sketch onto a grid and started to use the shape tool to create the black circle borders and the center dot. Then I used the Type on Path tool to create rounded text around the circle and positioned it at the top and bottom, aligning them in the center for balance and symmetry. I added the Japanese kanji characters on the sides, making sure to align them to the center with the dot. I increased the size and kerning for the typography so that it balances out the kanji characters. For the font, I chose LT Saeda Light because it's sans serif, making it modern and clean with its thinness. It has rounded edges, making it friendly and approachable. Following the criteria, I made the letter L and 26 in maroon red, and the other colors I used were black and white, as they are neutral, allowing the red to stand out. And I only used 3 colors in total for clarity and simplicity. I then started to work on the first version where I made the center dot red to represent the rising sun of the Japanese flag. I then vectorized the shape of the fish using the pen tool and rounded the edges of its mouth. I used the white arrow tool to adjust the curvature of the tail so that it has a smooth curve. I used the pen tool to create the scale patterns and the fins to give it that traditional look. I used the circle shape to create the eyes, and I decided to change the shape of the tail, so I deleted my previous lines and reshaped it again. I did this because I wanted to give some dimension to the tail by making it look like it's twisting. And once I finally figured it out, I work on the whisker, but I end up deleting it as well, as you'll see later, as it wasn't visible when viewed from a distance. I then duplicated some curves to create the scale pattern and rounded the line caps. Next, I created the top fin and reduced the amount of scales to simplify it for visual clarity. The koi fish is finally complete, and I duplicated it 4 times and positioned them according to my sketch, using the grid and the circle tool to make sure they are evenly positioned. After that, I created 3 mini versions where I tested out different color schemes. That was only the first design. Now I'll be creating my second one where the fish will be more minimal and abstract in style. I used the image trace feature to trace over the image and adjusted the vector to my liking. I got rid of the tail and adjusted the body to be as smooth as possible. Then I traced the tail shape over an image using the pen tool. After that, I placed it next to the curve of the fish, adjusting the curve of the tail accordingly with negative space in between, which creates the illusion of the tail twisting. I then created the fins and combined them with the body to complete it. Then I duplicated the fish and positioned them following the first logo. Now I'm changing the color of the koi fish to red for a different look for this version, so it matches the red sun. So this is the rough sketch and the refined digital sketch. Finally, this is the finished logo. I chose this version because the center red dot and the red fish are more unified to look like the sakura flower, which contrasts the black and white. The traditional koinobori, which are carved streamers, represent the family structure, which translates to the 5 koinobori I used. Finally, the arrangement of the fish represent the 5 petals of a sakura flower, which is the national flower of Japan. Thanks for hanging out with me through this design process, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more videos like this, or have specific projects you want to see, tell me in the comments. And if you're curious about how this idea started, my previous vlog is up where I showed my ideation process, so feel free to watch that next if you haven't already.